Vsauce, Michael here. What is gaming? Oh shit, that's the wrong channel. Hi Jurassic Junkie and welcome to the Friday Night Rant. Oh, it's good. Every time I have a break, I go through, I have to hunt the Friday Night Rant intro clip, play it, and every time I do it just fills me with joy. So we're back, and how long for? Nobody knows, but there's some stuff I want to talk about. I've got my hand back into gaming again, so I thought let's dust off the Friday Night Rant. The first thing I want to say is, oh, Zelda. I am heavily addicted to that game, and you can tell the quality of a game by the growth of a beard. If a game stops you taking care of yourself, there's no grooming, then you know you're onto a good game. But I think, oh, there's so many good things to say about Zelda, and I'm not going to sit here and talk about them, but the one thing that makes me go, yes, this is a good game, is just the size of the map. Now, we've had big maps in the past, like in Witcher and Skyrim, but the difference between the two is with The Witcher, it felt flat. Well, obviously because you're going to be walking around and you've got a horse. Yes, there's a few hills there, but it's a relatively flat map. Then you jump to the other extreme, you got something like Skyrim, super big mountains, but you can't climb them. You can glitch yourself up them, and everyone's seen the meme where you've gone, it would be quicker to go the long way around, but I'm going to glitch my way up the mountain. It takes 10 times as longer, but you want to climb it. But obviously you can go up some paths and stuff like that. But the thing I like about Zelda is I can go anywhere and I'll go, I'm going to climb that. And it's not just a case of you can climb anything. You've got your stamina bar as well. So you'll be going, I think I can climb that. And you'll get so far up and going, I've made a huge mistake. So yes, that's just one of many, many things that I love about Zelda. But we're not here to talk about that. So the first thing I want to talk about this week is Xbox Gaming Pass. So this is something that I've announced. We haven't got loads of information yet, but we've got enough to keep us going. And what it is Microsoft is rolling out a game subscription service where you'll pay $9.99. So probably here in the UK, we're probably going to be paying exactly the same, so about a tenner. And what you'll get for that is 1 month pass, and you'll be able to have access to 100 games to download, not stream, to download to your console and just play. And you can play them for the entire month, well, you can play them forever as long as you continue subscription. And I think that is a really, really good service because, yes, I paid for Xbox Live, and you get 2 free, well, you get 4 games actually. You get 2 Xbox Ones and 2 backwards compatible 360 games, and obviously like PlayStation you get your free games. But I really like that you get an access to 100, which is a lot of games for a tenner. And the thing is, what I'm excited about it is this is a service I'll use pretty much like EA Access. Whereas when EA Access first come out, I kind of fell in love with it a bit too hard. I was like, yes, I'm going to subscribe to this, and I brought my year pass. And I noticed towards the end of the year, I wasn't really using that subscription. I kind of played all the games I want to. So I've learned from that now, and I've cancelled my EA Access Pass, or Vault Pass, or whatever it's called. And whenever a game falls into it, I would then buy that pass, play it for a month, and then obviously cancel the subscription. So I will be doing the same with the Xbox Pass. At the moment, when it comes out, more than likely I'm going to buy it the first month, pick through the 100 games I want to play, and then just cancel it. And then in 6 months again, probably pay a tenner. But I think it's really good because when you're in between games, it's normally when I hunt for a gem, or I go, oh, I've always wanted to play that, but I've never got around to it. And them kind of games normally cost around about a tenner. I'll go on eBay and buy something like Tomb Raider that's been out for a year or two. So £10 I think is a really good price point, because if one of them games lands on that list of 100, then you could pay £10 to get that game and 99 other games. So I think it's a really good service, and I think Microsoft are going to do really well with this. But at the moment we don't know what the titles are. We've got a handful, we've got some screenshots of like Fable and stuff like that, so they look like there's a decent catalogue. They've said 100, and I think the only thing we've got confirmed about is probably about 20 or so. So we still need more details, but they said they're going to give us more information in spring 2017, so we're looking out for that. So the next thing I want to talk about is, obviously you saw on the previous video I was like, I've got a Switch, and I've just said I love Zelda, so I'm all like, woohoo, Nintendo. So the first thing I want to do is let's bash Nintendo. Well, no, it's not bashing as such. It's an article that's come out this week, and obviously Switch has just launched, and with every single launch there's always problems. So I'm not going to point my finger and go, hot, look, something's gone wrong, because it happens time and time again. You had the PlayStation that sounded like a jet engine, the Xbox One, disc failures, and obviously back before then you had the 360 Red Ring of Death. So consoles always had the teething problems to start off with, and the Switch is no different. But you've got some problems like the Switch making a very weird whizzing noise, but these obviously look like they are manufacturer fault, so you can go back to shop or Nintendo and get yourself a new console. The problem is they also have a few consoles with dead pixels, but Nintendo have turned around and says that's not our problem. In fact, their actual wording is, a small number of stock dead pixels are characteristics of LCD screens. So at first I was like, oh, that's a bit shit, you're not going to swap a dead pixel, because yes, 1 pixel's not much, but it fucking is. Like, you just sit there and you're drawn to a dead pixel. There's nothing worse than a dead pixel, and especially you've just been out and paid, what, $260 on this brand new console, you turn it on and there is a dead pixel, and Nintendo's response is, it's just one of them things, isn't it, we're not going to cover it. And my first reaction was, you bastards, like, this is someone's brand new product, fix it, swap it. In fact, my first reaction was, who the fuck found out that Nintendo aren't going to swap it? Because if I brought anything, if I buy a phone and it doesn't work from day one, I won't go, oh, I'm going to phone up Samsung and then send it to them, and I might get a refurb one back, and I'm going to be 2 weeks without this product that I've been excited for and opened and now I can't play it. No, I go straight back to Argos or wherever I brought it from and say, swap that now. So I don't know who went through the rigmarole in the first place to find out this fault. Just take it back. But the big thing is why are Nintendo not doing it? Now the thing is, dead pixels are characteristic of LCD screens. We've seen the PSP, the DSs, all of them occasionally, time to time, get dead pixels. It's one of them things that happen with LCDs. But after looking into it a little bit, I found some information out, and this goes back as well. I used to work for PC Service Call back in the day, which was the company that used to be tech support for PC World, Corys and Dixons, and a horrible job. But nonetheless, what used to happen is when somebody phoned up and go, I've got some dead pixels, depending on the monitor, we used to have to bring up this big index and find out what the maker manufacturer was, and each one had different rules. So some of them was like, yes, 1 dead pixel will cover it. Another one was, are there 4 or more and they have to be together, they can't be 4 in separate places. So everyone has a different rule. But looking into it, here's the thing, and I'll look down because I won't be able to do it. It's the ISO 13406-2 standard. Now what this is what people can conform to of what the rules of dead pixels are. Now class 1 simply says no dead pixels. So if you abide to the rules of class 1, that means if you have a dead pixel, you will replace it. Obviously if it's within warranty. And then you have class 2. Now class 2 says you can have a few dead pixels, and that is characteristic of an LCD screen, and you are not forced to replace the screen. Now the thing is, Nintendo are not alone saying that is a class 2 problem. Many people do it. HP, Dell, Apple is in a grey area. They don't actually say we're class 2. What they say is we'll do it on a base by base situation, so you have to go in and show the screen as such. Sonic View, Acer, loads of them. I've probably just the same one twice, but anyway, there's loads of them that all buy by class 2. So at first I was like, okay then, yes, Nintendo is pretty much doing what everyone else is doing. The only reason we're moaning at Nintendo because they're under the microscope at the moment, because there's this big launch of the Switch. But there is one person out there that actually does it slightly different. Well, there may be a few, but the one that I've noted is Samsung. Now Samsung's rules are, they are pretty much class 2, so yeah, if there's a few dead pixels, I'm sorry, it's characteristics of LCD screens, but their rule is, if you have one of these dead pixels within the first week, then they will just replace it, no problem, which I think's the perfect way. Well, the perfect way is to always replace, but obviously I can understand some manufacturers not wanting to replace every single dead pixel. So I think it's good that if you've just purchased a brand new product and obviously you're super excited and there it is, a dead pixel, well, take it back to the shop. But nonetheless, if you can go to the manufacturer and say, is this brand new, mate, come on, and they go, okay, it's a week old, we'll swap it, I think that's pretty much the best rule, and I would like to see Nintendo leaning on that, saying if it's brand new, fair enough, but if it happens 2-3 months down the line, we're sorry, it's just one of the characteristics of LCD. So yeah, I'm kind of 50-50 there. Like, I don't think they're terribly bad for it, but I don't think they're terribly good for it at the same time. And I've said it again, fucking take it back if it is the case. There's all different rules saying it's not fit for purpose and all the different things. You have to check the rules and regulations, but we brought things from John Lewis in the past, and those rules was if you're not happy with the product, you can take it back. And I went in and we brought a tablet before, and I just didn't like it. It was slow. And I took it back and I was like, all right, I want to take this back. She was like, is there a fault with it? I was like, no, there's no fault. And I was like, well, you can't swap it. I was like, you can, because you've said if I'm not happy. And she kind of put her heels in, and I just turned around and says, look, there's no terms and conditions to define what happy is. So if I'm not happy, like your rules fucking say, swap it. And she just did the sour face, walked off, and that was it. I got my money back and I brought a better tablet. So just stick to your guns, tell them you want to swap it and get it swapped. So that's that bit done. Now the meaty bit I want to talk about, and that is, one, a few of these things I'm going to say might shock you, and two, I just think the state of, well, I beg your pardon, it's not the state of gaming, it's the state of me as a gamer. Now, normally I buy the big AAAs, the big ones, and I do tend to enjoy them, and obviously I play my smaller games, my indie games as they come out. But normally if a AAA title's coming out and there's a small little indie gem coming out, I'm like, fuck off indie, I want my big boy. And I've pretty much gamed like that for a very long time now. And over this last year, it's started to change. Now, I think the big thing was I went out and brought Battlefield 1, and it was beautiful, it looks good, plays good, it's enjoyable online. But I stopped playing it, and so did a lot of the lads, and was like, this is weird, we can't find where the fault is with the game. We can't say why we've stopped playing it, but we have. And then we fizzled out, because I do like to play online with the lads. But then I fizzled out, and then during that time I went off and just brought a load of like smaller titles. Now I've wrote them down, but I've been playing things like Among the Sleep, Yesterday's Origins. Oh my god, that is one of them games that I saw and I was like, well, I'll probably get around to playing that. If you like point and clicks, play Yesterday Origins. It's fantastic, to the point I didn't even know they had actually a game before that just called Yesterday, and sadly it's only on Steam, so I'm gonna have to buy that and actually play a PC game. But yeah, what a fantastic point and click. I also played The Witness, that was originally a PlayStation exclusive, and I've been waiting for ages for it to come, and it came. And the thing is, it's a puzzle game, and with puzzle games I've brought many and always been burnt. I've paid up to £15 to £20 for puzzle games and completed them in 2 hours. Puzzle games tend to be really, really short, and The Witness was knocking out about 30 quid. I thought, I'm not paying 30 quid because I'll get it done in 2 hours, and it dropped down to £19. I thought, okay, I'll get it. And oh fucking hell, was I shocked. One, it's not a game complete in 2 hours. I think I've spent 20 hours and I've completed it now, but I am far from done with the game. There's plenty of other puzzles I need to solve, and to me it's just a masterpiece when it comes down to the puzzle genre. But anyway, I've played that, I've played Firewatch, Stardew Valley, and all these games are the smaller games that I would normally push aside for AAA. And in doing so, it's made me realise I've found more enjoyment out of these smaller games than I have in the AAA, because there's only so much AAA can do. They've got the budget to do these vast worlds like The Witcher and Skyrim and such, and yes, they are good games, but there's only so many times they can tell us the tale of this person's come alive from the dead and we've got to fight him back, or this evil race from space is going to kill us in Mass Effect. It feels like I've done everything, but when you go into indie, they can do the risk. Well, it's not even just indie, it's just smaller publishers. But the point is, they can take the risks of doing these quirky games. If a big AAA went, we're going to do something quirky, and it backfires, costs them millions and millions and millions. Whereas these smaller guys can attempt it. If it fails, it's not really a big thing because there wasn't going to be shipping billions of units anyway. So I find like the storytelling and the game dynamics and just the way they play are better on smaller games than the big ones. So that made me miss out on Tom Clancy's Wildlands. I played the beta, really enjoyed it. I thought this is going to be a great one for the lads. Well, it does help that I also brought Zelda, because all I'm going to do is play Zelda. I'm not playing that, but the point is, it's made me miss another like AAA game. And what's around the corner? Mass Effect. And what's the game that I'm always like, oh, I love? It's Witcher and Mass Effect. So I've not looked at anything in Mass Effect like I did with Witcher. I was like, don't want to spoil it. I want to just go in completely blind and enjoy it. And I'm thinking of not getting it, which is weird as fuck for me to say. Now, the reason I'm not that bothered about getting it, it's not because it's AAA, it's because I've done 3 Mass Effects, and I'd rather play a brand new IP than a 4th installment of the same IP. Now I know it's a different story, it's going to be, well, I don't know that much to be fair, but obviously the Shepard story's ended and now we're starting off in the new one, and I know it's going to be good, it's going to be really good. But I was saying to Joe, I'd rather go out and play Horizon Zero Dawn, which is a new IP, than I would to play the 4th installment of Mass Effect. But obviously Horizon Zero Dawn is on a PlayStation 4 and I don't own one. So I fucking brought one, which is just madness. Like, you talked to me 6 months ago, I'm like, Xbox, fuck Nintendo, fuck PlayStation, Mass Effect, woo! And now I've got a Switch, I've just brought a PlayStation 4, Mass Effect's around the corner, you can go on the shelf for a bit, I'm going to buy myself a PlayStation exclusive, which is madness. But like I said, Horizon, yes, it's got the big budget and it's a big game, but I'm not saying I'm not going to buy these big games. I just want to buy the new stories. Like, this is a brand new IP. I'd rather jump on that than the 4th installment of another IP. So I will get Mass Effect. I'm not stupid enough to say I'm not buying it, but it's definitely changed me as a gamer this year, because I've just noted how much more fun I'm having playing these different kind of titles. And the good thing is, which has made me excited, is because I did buy a PlayStation 4 in the past, and then I sold it because I was like, I'm not really playing it. And we've sold the Vita in the past, and we've sold and brought back many things. So what we've done is we've now got a Switch. Wii U sat here ready to go because that thing's dead. I'm never having that back. But we've got an Xbox One, PlayStation 4 is on its way. Joe's just brought herself a Vita again, and obviously we've got 3DS's. So to be fair, I've now got everything, and I don't intend on selling it, because I know now, even if the PlayStation 4 gets loved for 6 months and then it collects dust, it don't matter, because I will blow that dust off in another 6 months and love it some more. So now I'm really excited to go into E3, because instead of watching Microsoft's announcements and getting excited and then seeing the opposition and going, bastard, they got that, now I can just go in and just go, everything is for me. But yes, I'm really looking forward to it. And the cool thing is, PlayStation's been running for ages now. I had it at the early days, and I probably had it for 6 months to 9 months. So during that time, there's a big catalogue of PlayStation games that I've now got access to. So I'm looking forward to it to come, to just sit through and go, I can play that now, because there's loads I've just completely forgot about. I've looked at it and gone, oh, I'll never get a chance to play that, and it's gone out of the mind. I can't even remember what those games are. So I'm going to sit through and just go through saying, I need that, I need that. In fact, if there's any great gems out there for the PlayStation that need to be played, then please put them in the comments below and I'll start working my way through them. So yes, that's my shocking news. But most people who just tuned in is like, so you got 3 consoles, that's not shocking news. But for anyone that knows me, I am a big Xbox fan, and to then turn around and go, fuck the big thing like Mass Effect and go and buy a PlayStation 4 is very weird for me. So the only other thing now which is around the corner, and I don't know if I'm grabbing yet, is the Scorpio. Obviously it's going to be a 4K machine, it does better resolution, it's going to do better FPS, and it's supposed to be make textures and everything look more great. And it's one of the things, I think, in my head I'm just going to say it's 500 quid, so I've just got a ballpark figure. And at the same time, I've only got a 1080 screen downstairs, so it means I need to upgrade to 4K to enjoy in its full potential. Yes, you could plug it into a 1080 and just get better frames, but I'm not spending £500 on a piece of hardware to half enjoy it. So in my head, it's going to cost me at least £1,000 to enjoy the Scorpio. And I've got a little pot of cash that, since it was announced, I've been topping up, and I'm around about £400 in there at the moment. But that still doesn't mean they've sold it to me yet. Now I know E3 is going to be very Scorpio heavy, but I was just saying, I don't know if I can justify £1,000 to just up the resolution. Now you've got the PC Master Race that like 4K only and all this shit. I couldn't. This is why I can't get into PC gaming. I can't justify paying an extra £400 on these top-notch graphic cards to just get them extra pixels out of it, because to me, I really don't give a shit. So I would like to just be able to click my fingers and turn the Xbox One into a Scorpio, but if that click cost me £1,000, I don't know if I can do it yet. So I need to see what Microsoft have got how they can sell it to me, because the thing is, they can't sell me any exclusive games. They can't say this is Scorpio only, because they're not going to do that. Everything will work on Xbox One and Scorpio. It just look better on Scorpio. So I don't know what I'm doing with that yet. So we'll wait till E3. I'm hoping I've got restraint and I just don't get dead giddy when I see the videos and go, I need one, I fucking need one. So we will see. But I think on that note, I'm going to love you and leave you. It's nice to be back. So what I'm going to do is leave you this week with the question of the week, and that is, have you ever had one of these revelations where you've gone, this is what I'm doing with gaming and I'm not enjoying it, and you've shook it up and started playing a different genre, jumped to a different console or whatever it be. So if you've done it, what was you doing and what are you doing now, and why are you enjoying that more? And also, like I said, if there's any great PlayStation 4 exclusive games that I need to get, put them down below. But mainly I'm looking at some of the indie games and I can't remember them offhand. There was a Dungeon Keeper-esque game called like Dungeons or I know it's not Dungeons, I don't know what it is, but anyway, that was, and it's by Calypso, who did, fuck it, my mind's gone blank, let's just leave it at that. I'm just telling you a story about something that I can't remember, which is great, isn't it? But yes, anyway, there's enough information there, I'll be able to Google it later, but that's one of them games that I even tweeted and was like, please say you're coming to the Xbox. I was like, no, and I was like, fuck. So I'm so glad that I'm going to be able to buy that now for the PlayStation 4. But I'm gonna love you and leave you. I've said it before, I need to stop. This is the thing, that's what happens on a Friday night rant. I don't do it one for 6 months and then it's all in me and I'm like, oh, I'm back, I'd like to chat to you. Oh, fucking hell, time's running on. So, yep, that's me done. I don't know if I can promise that this is going to be every Friday. It all depends on, obviously, life, work, babies, stuff like that. But I am going to try my hardest. So, as always, thank you very much for watching, guys. I fucked it up again. How can I not even do my own outro? I'm just going to leave it at that. Cheers, lads and girls. Well, 2% of you girls. I check my analytics. Thanks, guys. Bye.